is that you capture those classical moments where the music really sounds good in your ear, and although Native music, is like a heartbeat of the Mother Earth, I also wanted to include that part in it, but I also wanted to show my love for instrumental music, classical, if you will, and then just mixing it together, with a good flow, like synergy.
Gotcha. Now, how many of the instruments did you play? Did you play all of the instruments on there, or did you have help?
No, I don't. I'm a one-woman band, so when I ask to play music, sometimes I'll just have a pre-recorded music and I play along with it, because
Gotcha.
I do play all the music. I add in also some computer-generated sounds, but mostly I play like one of the songs. I thought you would like Native Rock. I said David would like that song, Native Rock, because
yes, we did.
I did like. Yeah,
that's
I did
why
three
we played it.
Lap,
Yeah, I thought
did
that
three
was
overlaps of guitar.
Okay. Yeah. I was just going to say that's why we played that first, because I thought it would be a good transition from pop rock to the music that you're doing. And yes, that was one of my first thoughts. John Bon Jovial, you had a thought.
This is not necessarily anything to do with the music, Jiiniikwe, but I can, in the few remaining minutes that we have left, can you tell me, or tell David and I, just a little bit of your tribal background? Tell us about your tribe and its history and that kind of thing.
My tribal background, I'm enrolled at my mother's tribe, but I never lived there. In northern Michigan, in Bay Mills, and so just a little bit. It's a little tribe. They used to have more land, but it's reduced down to just a small piece of land or whatever. But nevertheless, it is a tribe, and there, and so the cultural background or whatever was always in me. And my mother and my father, they kind of they influenced me from when I was really small, because my brothers and my sisters, more or less, my older siblings, took care of me as a child. And so also the cultural revolution came in the 70s. And when Wounded Knee happened, I remember as a young teen, Wounded Knee 1973, and then the number 1968, I was south of Detroit in one of the suburbs. I was living there. And so it was like a cultural kind of revolution there. And then people started to reinculturate their culture so that, and then teach their children about the culture. But many of the children that, like in the 1970s or whatever, who were taken and they were gone to boarding schools and they were whatever, they had to relearn the culture and go back to the reservations, to the elders. And so it was kind of like that's what it came out of. And so my culture came out in the 1970s. It was kind of like, before then it felt like I was a stereotyped Indian, and I felt actually embarrassed to be a Native as growing up as a child, because the influence of natives in South Detroit, I didn't even know the Indians existed there. I grew up with Spanish people or black people, so I didn't. So it wasn't until like in my teens and 20s I started researching my ancestors and my family, and just like it took years to establish my tribal identity.
Well,
sure,
we're glad
I can relate to what you're talking. Yeah, definitely.
We are glad
I can
did.
relate to what you're talking about, though, because where I'm from in upstate New York, we have the United Nation, and they have had for several years now, I'm going to say probably a decade at least, they've had a program where they are not only reestablishing their culture, but they are teaching it to the upcoming generations so that it's learned and preserved. And I think that's a wonderful thing. I think we all should do something like that. And I do understand and I can empathize with what you went through, the culture shock and the, as you said, sometimes even being almost embarrassed about your culture. And I think that it's wrong that happened, but I think that it's good that you were able to overcome it. I'm really proud of you and happy for you for doing that. And I'm being signaled that we're just about out of time. So I want to thank you again so much for being here with us today, and wish you the very best. I hope you do come back and see us again. Understand you're going to be incredibly busy the next few months, so take good care of yourself and keep in touch. Let us know what's going on with you and your music, if you would, please.
Thank you very much for having me on your show.
You're absolutely welcome. Thank you for sharing with us.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Jiiniikwe Medicine Bird from her album Destiny with My Tribal Ways.
That's about all the time we have for this week, ladies and gentlemen. You can get Jiiniikwe's music on
SoundCloud, and I think iTunes is there.
It's Jiiniikwe, not Jiiniikwe.
Jiiniikwe.
Yeah, I said it wrong. All right. Let's do it again. All right. Here we go. Sorry about that, Nick.
Okay. In 3, 2, 1.
Jiiniikwe Medicine Bird, ladies and gentlemen. You can find her online all over the place, and I'll give you the spelling of her name in a second. You can find her new music on Kunaki.com. That's Kunaki.com. And her older music you'll find on Apple, iTunes, all the usual places. It's free on SoundCloud as well. Her name is Jiiniikwe, Jiiniikwe Medicine Bird. You'll find her online. Thanks for spending the time with us and listening to the music. We're happy to have you with you. We'll see you again next week. John Bon Jovial, take us home.
Well, folks, you've done it again. You've spent another perfectly good hour listening to the David Bowers Awards, and we are forever grateful that you come back to us each and every week. The David Bowers Awards is broadcast around the world from the studios of Computer Help USA in Naples, Florida, and also from the Valley of the Sun in Tempe, Arizona, and is available for free on Blog Talk Radio, also on YouTube, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spreaker, all the usual places that you get your podcasts. Be sure to click the follow link on our Blog Talk Radio page, and also be sure to follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Join us next week for the David Bowers Awards, Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern on WRFZ FM 106.3. That's Rochester Free Radio. And, of course, on Blog Talk Radio, Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, and 7 p.m. UTC. For more great indie music and talk with the artists that make it happen. So until next week, for the David Bowers and Nick the Geek, our wonderful engineer, I am John Bon Jovial saying we'll see you next week right here on the David Bowers Awards.